Hi, and welcome back to Carrie and Christian Roam the Globe.
In today's video, we are going to take you on a breathtaking escape just a short distance from Washington, D.C. Imagine the fast, roaring waterfalls and breathing in the crisp air as we explore everything that Great Falls has to offer.
From the Maryland side, Great Falls Overlook is accessed from the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal National Historical Park, located in Potomac, Maryland. Once parked, you'll go to the Great Falls Visitor Center. From the center, you'll walk over a small footbridge over one of the locks for the C&O Canal onto what was the trail path that the mules would be on to pull the barges and boats along the canal. About 400 feet south, you'll find the trailhead for the Olmsted Island Bridges Trail. From the trailhead, you'll have about a quarter of a mile walk out to the overlook. From the overlook, you'll have a panoramic view of the Great Falls. This is where the Piedmont Plateau meets the Atlantic coastal plain on the Potomac River. At these falls, the Potomac River drops approximately 76 feet over a distance of less than a mile. In addition to a view of the falls, you also have some great trail systems, and if you want, you could take the entire towpath of the C&O Canal, which runs from Georgetown, just north of Washington, D.C., up to Cumberland, Maryland, a total distance of 184.5 miles. During this 184-mile trail, the C&O Canal has an elevation change of 605 feet, which requires 74 channel locks to traverse. The Great Falls Tavern Visitor Center once served as a lock house as well as hotel for people that were transporting goods along the canal. The C&O Canal replaced the Potomac Canal, which was one of the first canals in the U.S. that was championed by none other than George Washington. This failed project's ruins are still visible today from Great Falls Park in Virginia. One of the other things that you could do at the C&O Canal Park is hiking trails, and the most famous of which is the Billy Goat Trail. The Billy Goat Trail, specifically Section A, is famous for its rock scrambling and challenging climb up a 50-foot cliff face. Unfortunately, we were not able to do the trail when we were there because Carrie was still recovering from a tibial stress fracture.
Great Falls Park could also be accessed from the Virginia side. Nestled along the Potomac River, Great Falls Park was actually once the dream of George Washington, who had the idea of making a canal to transport trade. Now, I'm going to share with you the history that I remember, but please, I do encourage you to visit the Visitor Center for the most accurate history information. As George Washington had this idea to bypass the rolling river of the waterfalls to transport goods from point A to B, he set up a canal, and that canal was going to transport things such as flour, sugar, whiskey, flaxseed, just really to have a better transport system so that the trades could be moved from point A to point B. To help build this canal, a town called Matildaville sprang up to the challenge. And this town, which is now a ghost town as the canal failed, as Christian mentioned in his portion of the Maryland video, the town that all remains are some stone foundations and the ruins. But the town at the time was Matildaville, and it was the hub for everything on the canal transport. Today, at Great Falls Park, you'll find a wild blend of nature, ruins, and history, all surrounded by dramatic cliffs and rolling waterfalls. And like I said, if you want the real story on a history, all the facts, please stop by the Visitor Center. At the Visitor Center on the Virginia side, it has recently been redone, and you can find friendly rangers in there who will give you a trail map. They'll let you know the conditions of the trails, and they'll just give you good tips on where to view the best falls. Also worth a look in the Visitor Center is a 10-minute video that runs on a loop, and that will tell you the story of the conception of the canal, of the Potomac Canal. And then you can also find an interactive session for fun for all ages that will give you a story of the challenges that they faced when they were building canal, as well as the geology that helped form the waterfalls that make up Great Falls. And now for the main attraction, those waterfall views. There are 3 outlooks that you can view to see them. The first outlook that you'll come to is closest to the visitor center, and it's rugged and close to the action. So there are viewing points that you don't have to climb on rocks, but please wear good shoes. This is an area where it's fun to climb on the rocks if you're able. You can definitely get a better view and a better picture, but you will also have a viewing area that's just from a wooden overlook with a balcony as well. The second overlook is just maybe like a 1/10 of a mile down from overlook number 1, and what you'll find there is a wheelchair accessible view to view the falls. Actually, when we went there, they had rose petals on the boardwalk, so it looked like someone had maybe gotten engaged or had some sort of celebration when we went there. But it's also a very good overlook to see the falls, very easily accessible. And our favorite place to view the waterfalls on the Virginia side would be overlook number 3. This one has sweeping views of the river and surrounding cliffs. And the day that we went, we had luckily got a ton of rain, and we just had nice roaring waterfalls that were just nice to stand on the platform and listen to the river and just really soak it all in. It was a great spot to see it. So in summary, there are 3 overlooks. Overlook 3 is probably your best bet for the most expansive views, but all are definitely worth a shot while you're there. The other thing to do while you're at Great Falls Park on the Virginia side is to take in some trails and do some nice hiking. And they have moderate levels of trails that you can partake in. If you stop by the visitor center, they will give you a map with a lot more than what I'm going to recommend today. But I would like to tell you about 2 trails that we think are worth going on. The first one is called the River Trail Loop, and it's about 3 miles long. It's a moderate trail, so they have them coded from easy, moderate to hard. And the moderate trail for the River Trail Loop goes right along the Potomac River, so you've got front row views to all the falls. The other trail that I'd like to recommend is the Matildaville Trail. And while we did not get to go see this trail, you can see it here on the map. Matildaville, just remember, is that town that was the hub for the George Washington Canal that he had the dream of doing. And if you do this trail, it's an easy trail. It's about 2 miles long. You can wander through what's left of the town of Matildaville and also see some of those stone foundations. And they say if you do it in the winter, you can see views of the Mather Gorge. So whether you're here for the hike, the history, or the incredible roar of the falls, Great Falls certainly delivers. So make sure you put on those boots, charge that camera, and let nature do the talking. Until next time.